Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Midnight, and it's finally the turn of Talbot Winger for us to analyze as a romantic option in Hogwarts Mystery. Our first contact with Talbot Winger is in the mission Turn into an Animagus, where Tulip and Barnaby tell you that Talbot Winger is making a potion for this, and it catches your attention because you consider that the ability to turn into an Animagus could help you in your search of the course vaults. So the first instinct of the MC is to go ask Talbot directly, but Tulip and Barnaby, the way I see it, give you a very bad advice, saying that Talbot is very weird, that he's always alone or with the owls, and therefore before approaching him, you should try to find out with people what they can tell you about him. MC does as Tulip and Barnaby say, and Talbot Winger, because he's there in the same hallway that you are doing it, when you approach him, the first thing that he tells you is, hey, if you want to know something about me, just ask me.
Well, duh.
But well, at any rate, after this comment from Talbot, you ask him about the potion, and he gets defensive and denies you. Which honestly normally would get on my nerves, because many characters in Hogwarts Mystery make me feel that they are excessively mysterious without a reason to not trust MC. But in this case, I honestly cannot say anything against it, because if I saw somebody asking gossips about me to people basically in front of my face, and after that they had the nerve to come over to me asking me about a potion or whatever I was doing that was important to me, call me crazy, but I wouldn't want to tell anything to the person after that. But well, after this, MC tells Talbot, okay, I'm gonna take my leave, sorry for bothering you, but before they leave, Talbot stops them, asking if they have entered Filch's office. And then we see Talbot infiltrating the office with MC, and we see him very surprised that all it took to open it was using Alohomora. Once in the office, Talbot tells you that you have to find the chrysalid of a dead sphinx moth.
The who's-abouts of what?
And when you locate the chrysalid, Talbot explains you that this is a key ingredient for the potion, and he has a little bit of a Freudian slip saying that we are one step closer to making our potion. MC obviously remarks this, that hey, you said our potion, and Talbot gets defensive right away saying that this was a mistake. However, this so-called mistake keeps repeating throughout the event, and every time MC makes sure to remark it, but Talbot keeps getting defensive. And among other replies, he eventually tells MC that they are going to change their mind about wanting to be friends when they learn their secret. And speaking of friends, by the way, in this event you also learn that you and Talbot have a common friend that's no other than Penny Haywood. This surprises MC that the two of them are friends, and Talbot is like, why the hell does it surprise you that I'm friends with Penny? Among other options, you can tell him, and that's what I personally said, that they are very different. Penny is very kind, very even soft in the way she talks to people, and Talbot, all the opposite, is extremely straightforward. And if you tell him that, although he doesn't give you many details about it, Talbot replies that his life is too complicated to not be straightforward. Later in the event, Talbot teaches you the spell to become an Animagus, and when you go to the transformation class, I don't remember what you ask him, but he replies to you, ask the cat. And when MC freaks out and tells him, what do you mean with ask the cat, are you crazy? McGonagall transforms and tells you that Talbot is not crazy, but well informed. And she also says that people tend to confuse these two concepts a lot, which is actually reminiscent of a character from Merlí, a TV show that I like from Spain. And this character that Talbot reminds me of, his name is Ivan, is a student in a high school, but the group bullies him and segregates him because they consider him weird and freaky. And I like that TV show because it reflects on the idea that whenever someone dares to think, people start censoring them. But it also gets me thinking that, although I personally don't see Talbot as a romantic option, for me, I'm not that attracted to him. If I was his teacher, I would be the terror of anybody that bullied him or gossiped about him.
No pienso tolerar ninguna discriminación a los compañeros por ninguna razón. Si detecto cualquier conflicto en este sentido, seré implacable.
In this interaction with McGonagall, you also learn that Talbot is a non-registered Animagus, and that McGonagall already gave him an ultimatum that either you register soon or I'll report you myself. But when MC asks Talbot why the hell don't you register, later in the event Talbot tells you that first of all his parents were murdered by Death Eaters. And something that I should mention about this is that Talbot's parents have no technical obligation to face them because they didn't have a charge in the ministry or were an active part of the war. However, they decided to face them regardless because they wanted to support the rebellion. And before this last encounter, Talbot's mother, that was an Animagus herself, taught him to transform in case he needed to escape, which actually did save Talbot's life, but unfortunately his parents didn't have the same luck. And the reason why up to now Talbot refuses to register as an Animagus in the ministry is because he is afraid that the Death Eaters could find him like that and finish the job. At the end of this interaction, Talbot wishes you luck in your Animagus transformation, and although when Penny asks him if you are friends, he says you are working on it. And he actually tells you that you are friends, you don't officially unlock him as a friend until you complete the event flying solo. On this event, Penny tells you that Talbot is very lonely and very sad lately, and although at first MC tells her, don't you know your friend, Snape is talkative compared to him, Penny soon explains you that it's not only that he's quiet or that he's lonely, but that he's lonelier than usual, and that he's been skipping classes which he usually doesn't, including Transfigurations, that is his favorite one. And although missing one class by itself doesn't necessarily mean anything terrible, this combined with isolation, lack of interest in things that usually make him happy, and just the overall lack of interest and joy for life, can even be a sign of depression. Penny tells you besides all this that she thinks Talbot is avoiding her, so MC tries to talk to Talbot, but he closes himself immediately, saying that he's fine just to avoid the conversation. And when MC tells him that he's asking because they are friends and he cares about him, Talbot's reply is a little heartbreaking, honestly, because he says he only called you friend because he got carried away.
And the only reason I gave you that stupid Valentine is because nobody else would! Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half.
So MC suggests a game of gobstones where he bets that if he wins they talk, if he loses he leaves him alone, and when they win the game and start confronting Talbot, MC makes the mistake to mention his secret about being an unregistered Animagus, unaware that Merula was there spying using the delusion spell. Talbot obviously panics, worrying that Merula knows his secret, she could tell someone, she could report him, and MC offers to help talking to her, but Talbot says nope, you've done enough, stay out of it. But of course MC decides to completely ignore this and decides to go talk to Merula regardless of Talbot's desire, which the way I see it makes the situation a little worse because Merula even tells you in that conversation that she couldn't care less about Talbot's life. But since MC comes to her and makes it seem like a very big deal, like something very important, and therefore something that Merula could use to get under Talbot's skin if she wanted.
You're making a huge mistake.
But surprisingly, when you talk to Talbot in the 3 rooms and confess this, instead of getting mad at you, Talbot actually tells you that he doesn't blame you for Merula knowing, because you had no way to know that she was eavesdropping on you. In the end, he accepts your help with the situation, and he also tells you that the reason why he has behaving the way he has is because he's sad because his parents' death anniversary is coming, and to add insult to injury, he lost a necklace that his mother gave him. He explains you that his mother was an Animagus that turned into a swan, and that she made 2 necklaces with her feathers, one for Talbot and one for his father, but that he cannot find it anywhere in Hogwarts.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
You help him look for the necklace everywhere in the school and you cannot find it, but at one point of the mission MC has the idea of looking for it outside again, but in their animal forms, with more acute sight, more acute senses, and although you don't find the necklace, Talbot does find the broken hook, which takes you to Filch's office concluding that maybe he confiscated it, and when you go through his notes you learn that he did confiscate it because he thought it was suspicious, given the fact that it had a feather and he thought it belonged to Art. And you also learn that Filch gave the necklace to his cat, to Mrs. Norris, because she liked it. When MC and Talbot try to recover the necklace from the cat, she tries to scratch them, she hisses at both of them, so MC transforms into an animal again to distract the kitty, while Talbot recovers the necklace. At the end of the event, Talbot thanks you and even admits that without you, he most likely wouldn't have recovered the necklace. And the situation with Merula gets fixed as well because she tells to Talbot that since her parents are in Azkaban and she knows how it is in there, despite her normally mischievous personality, she wouldn't hurt somebody like that. And she actually jokes that she wouldn't even do it to MC. In this event, by the way, the amount of times that MC insists with the friendship with Talbot, like admit it, you want to, honestly makes me cringe a little bit, like the way the game handles it. Makes you look like you are begging him, basically. But at the end of the event, Talbot does recognize that he wouldn't have recovered the necklace without you, that he had fun with you. And the event actually concludes with Talbot telling you that although he does prefer time alone, he had more fun with you. And before he leaves, he calls you friend. After all this, you unlock him as a friend in the game officially, you're able to go eat with him, play gobstones and drink butterbeer, but although he is a member of the Sphinx Club, he's not available for the exams. If you like this video about how we meet Talbot Winger, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so YouTube lets you know when I talk about the best attributes of Talbot as an individual. And while you are waiting for me to upload that, don't forget that the playlist about romantic options in Hogwarts Mystery already has the videos about Badia, Jae, and Kiara. Mrs. Midnight loves you, hopes to see you next time, and wishes you a wonderful week.